boy. I'm busy on Sunday. If you can hear me talking, you're in the right room. Let's get it on. Oh, he left. What a bitch. Oh. Oh, chicken hawk. Oh, chicken hawk. What the fuck? Did he leave the server? Can someone confirm, did he leave the server? Oh, no, he's still here. Oh, he just bounced in, bounced out? Let's get it up. I thought I was the chicken hawk. I thought I was a coward. I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I couldn't hang with you. You were going to wreck me. Oh, no. Chicken hawk, come on in. I can't hear you, Christine, because you're muted. I will unmute you, Christine. Thank you. Put on headphones. And you're muted again because you don't have headphones on. And somebody has a screenshot of this, right? Everybody has screenshots. I want everybody to have screenshots. Alt print screen. There you go. Get your screenshots. Get your screenshots. Get your screenshots.
And just to give you a heads up, my live stream is not a screenshot of Discord. Is just anybody that speaks up will show up in as an overlay in my OBS.
Oh no, I meant take an actual screenshot, like alt print screen. That's what I wanted.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be way too slow on that part. I'm really out of it still, so.
Aw. You need more sleep. Yes, CJ is here. The chicken hawk is here. And News Now Houston? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did I see News Now Houston pop in? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind getting me a taste of that tall slice of Texas fire. Oh, no, he's not. He's not. Maybe he just popped in and left. Let's get it on. Looks like only someone with a verified and verifiable pussy has the balls to get in the ring. Thank God for women like Pink Camera Magic. I'll even be more or less nice to you, Pink Camera Magic. We'll show those big, nasty men how tough you are and how pussyish they are. Oh, people are typing. Oh, did we lose a chicken hawk? Did somebody scare away the chicken hawk? Son of a bitch. Or is this just another one where he disappeared and he's still back there? No? I don't understand this. Don't beat on the pink? Oh, man. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Or wait, is this the wrong stream for that?
I don't have any standards on political correctness, so.
You should have just stopped with, I don't have any standards. Boom. Done. Let's get it on. Cute girl in the house. Everybody looks suave. Did you just assume somebody's gender, Captain Entropy? You could be fined like $1,000 for that. Oh, Pink Camera Magic has to make herself look pretty for a voice chat. Ladies. Okay, so there's Pink Camera Magic who says, hey, y'all, can someone, who's the best at directing the ladies? Click center arena, left panel. I talk when I type. Everybody in the office loves me. I also sing to myself, and I have really good arguments with myself while I'm working on documents. Mm-hmm. Let's get it on. GIRL is a guy in real life. Nice. Yes, I have lost many arguments with myself, but it's always for the better. Usually when I think I'm wrong, I'm mistaken. And we got lots of people. I'm using the app, so the setup is different. Okay. Someone get James Freeman in here to show her how to do this. Zing! One of my super secret informants just told me that News Now Houston and the Chicken Hawk are planning a counterintelligence op right now. They are definitely counter to intelligence. Clink on center rink, says Michelle. Oh, it's not a fight club, Desert Sentinel. I'm going to be a complete gentleman. Lies, all lies. Absolutely. I ask probative questions. Somebody sent me a friend request. I do not accept friend requests. I apologize. don't send me for, well, I mean, you can send me friend requests, but nothing personal. I don't have internet friends. You can instant message me without having to be my friend. Innuendo. Aw. Sometimes I buy dinner first. That's gentle, right? Well, you can't tell by the way that I walk my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time for talk. Yes, I will sing. If nobody talks to me, I'm gonna sing like a motherfucker. And you don't want that. So he was gentle with Nasty. I got nothing against Nasty.
A lot of people enjoyed the Nasty conversation, that's for sure. Also, a lot of people tuned in and listened to that to the point where it raised my average viewer time to 10 minutes from 5 minutes.
Well, I am glad to be helping a disabled veteran. And they say I don't love my country. Troll loving country, exactly. Actually, I hear the Australians are the masters of trolling, but I haven't seen that yet.
They got some notable personalities on YouTube, but I haven't really seen much out of them in general as a user base.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of hype. Because I mean, let's just face it, world-class trolls, Mr. Medicare, and who's the Australian troll you got?
Bering could be one every now and then. It just depends on the time frame.
I don't think Bering's really a troll. I think he's a nice guy who just goes along with it, and everybody thinks he's a troll just because.
Oh, well, the thing is he managed to, what was it? That stupid recording, that supposed free speech platform that was building up an AI to censor people. He managed to troll them to out themselves on his like little live stream there.
Yes, I remember that, but I don't think he was trolling me. He asked, and she was dumb enough to answer. I think there's a difference. Talking to stupid people and being nice to them is not the same as trolling. And Russians have terrible, terrible trolls. Brits have some good ones. AIU is in Brazil right now. This is unstoppable.
Oh, he's in Brazil now? I thought he was still over in Oceania.
Nope, his visa ran out. He is in Brazil.
Wait. He's originally from Brazil then, or?
No, his visa to be in Australia ran out, so he had to go somewhere else.
I did not know he was a foreigner in Australia. I don't really hear it in his accent.
He was not born in Australia. He was born in the US. He is of dual US and UK citizenship. Not like I'm a fanboy for anything. You know, I just know these things. But yeah, he's a dual citizen of the US and the UK. He has residency in Germany because of the whole Schengen zone. Merbies, have you read Packingham versus North Carolina SCOTUS? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Packingham versus North Carolina. Yes, I have read that one. I don't know where you're going with it, but I have read it. I think you're too late for that special offer, Ed. I think that one expired in like 1900-ish. Dennis is getting pink camera magic's digits. You go, Dennis. I'm going to tell your wife you're flirting with online. Packingham is an odd surname. I don't know. I don't know. Big Dick Packingham. Sounds like a good name. Good name for a football player. Has Ethics even joined this server? Common Joe?
I have not seen anybody with Common Joe or Ethics instead show up within the server listings the few times I've looked.
Common Joe, I don't think is Ethics. The guy with the name Common Joe, I don't believe is Ethics instead.
Okay. No, I have no idea what's going on in that direction, so.
In answer to your question, NJ Diver, no, I don't believe it does. He asked if Packingham would prevent, somehow affect municipalities, police departments from deleting and blocking posters from social media. I don't believe so. I believe that Packingham was overbroad. If I remember correctly, I'm not reading it right now, but if I remember correctly, Packingham was overbroad. They were trying to restrict restrict people from posting on social media if they had like sexual crimes, like child molestation or something like that. And he posted some Jesus message, if I remember correctly. And because it affected just straight up free speech, it was overbroad. It wasn't targeting the kiddie porn or something like that. Ethics Discord monitor is Brandon Bowman X because he likes fake names, as I sit here with the name of Merbeast. Yes, in some to foreclose access to social media altogether to prevent the user from engaging in the legitimate exercise of First Amendment rights. However, if they're just restricting them from certain websites and things like that, then that is different than denying them social media altogether. NJ Diver. UK nationality wouldn't mean you're in Schengen zone. Being an EU citizen mean you could reside in Germany. I am of the impression that if you are a member or if you are a UK citizen, then you can move, live, and work anywhere in the UK, which is why there are issues with Polish citizens and citizens of other nations moving from the poor Eastern EU nations into the richer Western EU nations to take advantage of higher pay and the things like that. And that's one of the reasons why the UK was as keen as it was to leave, because then they control who can come in and live. And I think there's like a housing crisis in the UK and all that fun stuff.
They got a lot of crises going on over there.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. If all you hear is news from someplace, then you're only going to hear the things that make the news. Angry Orchard tonight? Not yet. My wife said she might bring me home something to drink, and if she does, then we'll see. But I don't know if she's going to, and if she's not. That's EU citizen Merb, but not on Schengen. Schengen, yeah, well, whatever. It's the Schengen zone. Anyone who's a member of any of the member EU states have the free travel deal. Are we really going to get into this? Was I close enough? The frog. Oh no, he's typing. We're getting into the minutia. Here we go. All right. All right. All right, here we go. Oh, close enough. All right. Damn it. I was getting my Googling fingers warmed up. Oh, you like me. He likes me. If you want to actually talk, Le Frog, I could unmute you since we're waiting. And you're unmuted. Stop it. I'm choking. Don't have a headset. And you're muted. Gay! Trust the English to not have headsets. Goddamn foreigners, they took our gerbs. You, man, need to help here with sound settings. I don't know what that means. She is close. Well, you keep using your dulcet tones. You'll get her there, big boy.
I'm waiting for the Jurassic Park reference.
I don't watch movies, so you'll be waiting a long time.
Oh, it wasn't actually from you. It was more from Desert Sentinel.
Oh, because he said hind lick. Desert Sentinel could unmute himself if he wanted to. He's just too lazy. Yes, 13-year-old humor. I love it. It's the best humor. I'm surprised no one's given me shit so far for liking Afro Man. I thought for sure that the rumors would be flying around by now that I am a pothead or something. George Carlin was good too. Old George Carlin was good. Young George Carlin was less so. He got edgier as he got older.
For sound settings, right now I'm operating on a laptop and I don't have all of my good equipment with me, so that's the reason why my mic and all that shit sounds all crap.
You sound beautiful to me.
All right, I do have a headset.
Aw, how you doing, Desert Sentinel?
A little beat up. I got out in the yard and started doing things around 11, and I stopped at 4 o'clock hoping for a show.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I mean, Pete settled in. He slept it out there last night. He actually used the range top. I have another plumbing issue, actually two plumbing issues. The kitchen sink drain leaks all over the place. The kitchen faucet leaks all over the place. And the old 1971 hot water heater has got a little bit of a leak. So I got to bypass it.
But what about the Merb34st Memorial shitter receptacle?
I've got a really good one with high reviews picked out on Amazon that is about $150 and it's highly rated. So I wanted to go with the best one possible that I could find that wasn't going to get too bulky to be able to haul to the septic dump.
Yeah, and I want my name engraved on it, Merby. So every time anybody is smelling the contents of it, they're thinking of me.
Well, I figured it was going to be the Merby's comment receptacle.
I figured it would be aptly named because I'm full of shit, right?
Well, if anybody has any comments, I can put it in the receptacle.
There you go.
But other than that, yeah, my daughter informed me yesterday that her brakes were grinding. So yes, I was doing brake jobs today, and I was doing some transmission fluid business on my truck, but of course I had all these other things to do on top of it. It's been a lot of fun today.
Isn't it always amazing how if it's her problem, all of a sudden it's your problem?
Well, it's her car when she wants it, and it's my car because it's still in my name when it breaks down.
That's about right.
She said she has a job, and she says she's going to pay me back when she gets her paycheck tomorrow. So this will be a first, and I will probably celebrate.
Wow. All right. Yeah. I mean, take a picture, make a video.
There you go. I'll put her on blast. I'm sure she'll enjoy that. At least I'll be able to get the $50 back that I had to pay her to become a subscriber.
Yeah, to pay for subscribers. That's terrible. This, by the way, this live stream right here is everything I hate about live streams, and that's why I don't watch them. No offense to anybody in it, but they're terrible and they're boring, and I am apologetic that I am subjecting everybody to this. It is not my fault. Everybody saw Chicken Hawk was here. Chicken Hawk could have joined. Everybody knows that Brandon Bowman was agreeable. I pinned it. He was agreeable to it, and then he never showed. And Pink Camera Magic is a lady, and ladies are always fashionably late.
Well, I'm certain that there will be plenty of videos this week explaining how you weren't accommodating enough and that you're such a horrible person, and they were more than willing to do it. But of course, again, it's going to be on their turn.
I'm a coward, apparently. Yeah,
you're going to be a coward because you were here waiting, and they were here, but you're the coward.
Technical difficulties. Is Pink Camera Magic having technical difficulties, NJ Diver, or is Chicken Hawk? Oh, yes. Okay. So Pink Camera Magic is having technical difficulties. Bad Merb. Go ahead.
NJ Diver just asked again how Pete was doing. Pete's doing fine. He's sitting on the couch in the house. We figured since it's going to be bloody hot, I checked my digital thermometer, and the high temps in the desert this week are going to be death. And Pete's going to be in the house watching TV until we can get him set up with the TV and all that fun stuff. So he's doing just fine. And oh, by the way, Pete didn't know about everybody's contributions, and I let him know today. And Pete is Pete, but he was almost to tears for everybody helping out.
That's very good. I'm glad he was appreciative. Frog said, "Got me a headset. If you finish with DS before Pink gets system up, only to explain free movement within the EU to you and let you make fun of my accent." Are you down for this, Desert?
Yeah, go right ahead. Mute me up.
Oh, you can mute yourself. You're a big boy. All right, so.
Oh God, I have to like negotiate shit. Okay, bye.
Hello, Frog.
Hi, Merb. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh God, that was bad straight away, wasn't it?
Straight away, it was.
Can I say I hated you? Well, because I was taught to hate you when I started looking at your stuff.
You can say that, and you did say that. Now what?
And I've grown to respect you a lot.
Respect me a lot. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Or respect the videos that you put out.
How about my authority? Are you respecting my authority?
I am expecting your authority, yeah.
Authority. Say it right.
No, what's authority?
Oh, this is why we beat your asses in 1776. You know that, right?
Yeah, hang on. That was Brits beating Brits because you were Brits.
No. We kicked that shit to the curb there, son.
Okay.
Mic away from your
remember
mouth.
Celebrating.
Hold on a second.
Sorry,
Hold on a second. Someone wants you to stop deep throating the mic.
Oh, sorry. I've got deep voice.
No, deep throating the mic.
Is that better?
It's not a penis. You don't have to suck it.
Is that better? That's on my chest at the moment.
Ooh. Spray it all over. Come on, Lady Zaga. Stop saying mic away from your mouth. Use proper nouns. Desert Sentinel apologetically says his ancestors were French right before he runs off, waving a white flag in the air. You were explaining
Right.
something though.
I was going to explain. I was going to explain free movement to you. Within the EU,
license.
within the EU, so every country in the EU, we can move from one to another. Oh, I better get off.
Muted. Good.
Yeah,
good.
that's fine.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Good. It wasn't connecting for some reason, and now obviously it did, so.
Oh, typical lady. You always have to have an excuse for being late. So how are you today? And wow, just like that, she's gone. Oh, come on. You were here. It was beautiful. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I love you.
Shortest debate ever.
Oh my God. All right, Frog. You get another shot. Quick like a bunny rabbit.
Okay. Am I back?
Okay.
Oh,
can you hear me now?
No.
I can hear you now.
All right. It seems to like take away my my privilege to talk or whatever, and then it just like brings it back. I don't really understand what's going on, but I guess if you can hear me now, that's fine.
I can hear you now. That's fine. So how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you very much for asking. So you were expressing that you would like to ask me questions, and that's different and new and exciting. But first, I would like to ask you some questions.
Sure.
First thing I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about the fat parasite?
I don't even know what that is.
You may know him as Black Label Copwatch. And I'm going somewhere with this. I always do, so be careful.
Okay. I like him. I mean, we've talked on a pretty regular basis. It's been a while though. I don't have any problems with him. In fact, he helped me recover some footage that was deleted from I was arrested at the Cook County Courthouse, and this sheriff's deputy came and he deleted my footage and everything, and I ended up sending my SD card to him and he recovered it for me. So I really appreciate him for that. I mean, I've never had an issue with him.
Okay, good. All right. Do you think that new auditors should have their content displayed in its entirety without a link to them on his channel?
No.
Are you aware that that happens?
Yes, I am.
So you're not in favor of that. Do you think that is like ethically wrong or what? Like what kind of, you don't think it's right. How do you think it's not right?
I just think I think it's ethically wrong, because I would think that somebody who is a supporter of what we do and not necessarily, feet on the grounds type of person, that you would want to encourage traffic to our sites. You know what I mean?
I do. And this is where it's going to get uncomfortable. And it's only going to be uncomfortable for a minute because I do like you, but I'm going to ask this question. So are you sitting down?
Oh, no, I guess I am sitting down. Okay.
So can you explain to me why you put my video up and monetized it without giving me a link?
I didn't put a link on there. I thought I did. In fact, I thought for sure that I did.
Okay. Well,
want me to double check? Otherwise, I'm pretty certain I did. If I didn't, I'll go ahead and put one on there. No problem.
I am merely asking for the record. So
okay.
So this was me getting you off your balance, and now
that's all right.
Now we can proceed. So you were recently arrested, correct?
Yes.
And then you were bonded out, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I was arrested 3 times in a month here, and I was released on what's called an I bond, which is you don't put any cash up, but you sort of release you on your own recognizances with conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I was released on.
And were one or more of those conditions staying in the state?
Yes, it is staying in the state. However, I didn't know that really until recently when I started looking into it further. I signed my I signed my I bond, and it doesn't say the terms on it actually on the sheet. And one thing that's different about Illinois, where I live now, and compared to where I used to live in Minnesota, where I know all the bonding rules and stuff like that, is in the state of Minnesota, they can use the service of a bonding business, whereas in Illinois, you can't do that. So they have their own terms in Minnesota. And usually when you're out on a bond, it's good up until your very next court date. It just assures that you're going to make it to court. In the state of Illinois, they're issued by the state, and they last until throughout the duration of your trial, until there's a final result, till you have sentencing or you're acquitted or whatever. And there's 3 general rules for it, and it's all across the board. And I believe it's a law. I'm not 100% sure on that, but one of them is leaving the state. The other one is, I think, making sure you attend your court dates and then remain law abiding. So yeah,
I'd have to check into Minnesota laws to see if their bonding requirements do allow you to leave the state. I would be surprised. But that does lead into the next question. Why are you so familiar with the Minnesota? It was Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Why are you so familiar with the Minnesota bonding laws or bonding?
I've used them plenty of times. I mean, I've bonded people out. I've never been bonded out myself, but I've used them for people. I've helped bond people out plenty of times.
In reference to the First Amendment community, or in reference to more general bonding people?
No, in general. I didn't. That was a long time ago. I didn't really get started in the whole First Amendment thing. It's been maybe 4 years.
Would you say
so? A lot of this was kind of before that.
Okay. Would you say that you have a positive view of law enforcement, negative view of law enforcement, or a neutral view of law enforcement?
I try my best to have a neutral one, but it's really hard. It's really difficult. But to be totally honest, it's pretty negative.
Okay. You went down to Leon Valley. What prompted you to go down to Leon Valley?
A few things, actually. I've been down to San Antonio, and I've gone there to visit, gone to friends. I wanted to go to, just kind of see what's going on there, check it out. Wanted to, because I'm in the activist community, I guess. And so I met my boyfriend down there too. I just wanted to see what was up.
Okay, so it wasn't tied into any of the events at Leon Valley. You just kind of wanted to go down there just generally?
Yes and no. Actually, I was there a couple of weeks ago, and when I was happened at Leon Valley, when I was actually in Dallas on my way down there when they did the whole press conference and stuff like that. And so, and I ended up having to leave to come home for an emergency. And so I was intending on going back anyways. So we rolled it all and made it kind of an all for one when I went back there. I went there and saw my boyfriend. I drove down there with Chi-Town Sue and Denise, and yeah, I spent maybe a week down there.
Okay. I'm not trying to dominate this or make this into a deposition. I know you said that you had questions for me, so I'm sorry. Sure. I have a bit of an overbearing personality.
That's all right.
I will give you equal access.
Okay.
Or
yeah, no, if you'd like, that's fine. I mean, go ahead.
Okay. So you have an ankle monitor and you're forced to stay at home. Do you have a job besides being a First Amendment auditor?
No. Here's the thing. I actually I was working at a tile company for quite some time, and I just recently lost that job. And so I would say within the last month, I started doing the activism stuff full time because my ad revenue was enough to pay my bills and so I could support myself. So I started doing that full time for now. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So now I can actually go on job searches right now if I want to. And I think I'm going to do that just so I can get out of the house at this point.
Okay. So
but my rent's paid and stuff like that as of right now. So.
Okay. So you're actually kind of looking at doing this as a career?
Yeah. Well, not a lifetime career or anything like that, but just for the meantime. I mean, Falco has a lot of content. And AdSense actually pays pretty well for letting you run their ads. So,
okay. You say you've been arrested 3 times. I'm assuming that 2 of them are, well, one would be for an offense, one would be for the leaving the state, I'm assuming, and then there's a third one?
Oh, I didn't count that one. I was arrested at Bedford, the city of Bedford Park. That was for that trespassing charge that I'm going to court for right now. I was arrested there. I was arrested at the Cook County Courthouse when I died, when the sheriff and I have a video out on that. And then I guess technically I'm arrested now. And then also I was arrested for driving with a suspended license. So that wasn't my activism. That was for driving on a suspended license.
Do you believe you need a license to drive?
Yeah, obviously, especially if I live here. I let it lapse a lot when I lived in Minnesota because they give you a ticket and let you go about your business and drive away. But here, if you get pulled over on a suspended license, they impound your car, they take you to jail. So I was, I was being kind of, I was getting a little too comfortable with driving without a license. There's a lot of money to pay to reinstate it, so I just haven't bothered with it when I lived back then. But then here, I was just going to wait till I save up enough money, reinstate my license. So I just wasn't driving here after I got caught and went to jail.
Okay. You have a pit bull?
No.
Oh, I don't
have a dog at all.
I thought that was your video. I'm sorry. I thought I saw a video with a dog in it with you and your son.
Oh, no. That's a friend of mine. Actually, those are her dogs. She just moved here.
Oh, I almost felt really uncomfortable. I'm glad I wasn't.
That's why you asked, right?
Exactly. So you don't have a dog, but you do have a son?
No, that's actually her daughter. She's had her hair in braids. So. That's my friend's daughter who was there, who saw the cops shoot her dog.
I'm not talking about the video today. I thought on a live stream. I even said nice dog on your chat, but apparently that was just a thumbnail. All right. Okay. So now that this is completely awkward.
It's all right.
What are you looking at in terms of your 3 arrests? What is your potential, assuming everything goes completely horrible? What's your prognosis if everything goes wrong?
If everything goes wrong, I don't know. I guess. So, as far as the driving with a suspended license stuff, that actually all got dropped when I went to court on that. Because I went to court on that the day that I recorded the outside and was arrested. I was actually there to go to court for that. And I ended up going to jail, obviously, instead. But then I ended up having a warrant. So I went back there and I saw the same judge who made me make sure the footage was deleted and seized my SD card. And he just dropped everything. He just said, okay, everything's dismissed, which they charged me with like a nuisance car or something, because in Illinois, like if your plates aren't good, which they're not good if your license is suspended, they call it a nuisance also. So you can get a ticket for that. And so they just dismissed everything. So I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. I'm not going to question it. Great. As for the stuff in Bedford Park, I don't know. I'll see what happens, I guess. Obviously I'm taking this to a jury trial. And, I'm hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst. It's only a misdemeanor, so.
But somebody somewhere has told you the potential penalty for it.
Yeah.
And what would that be?
The maximum, I think, is like 90 days in jail.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So, yeah. And then on top of that, I'm already on house arrest. I'm going to be on house arrest a little more than 2 months for violating. So.
Now, I only had one chance to watch through your live stream where you were giving advice to new auditors. And I have a question for you.
Okay.
What are the laws on trespassing in Chicago? Where would you go to find out the laws on trespassing if you lived in Chicago?
I guess online. It depends on who charges you. From what I understand, from the things that I looked up, there's different types of laws with that. Like there's federally, they actually have their own set of trespassing laws. So I'm a little confused about who would actually, have jurisdiction at the post office. But what I also looked up too, it seems like they can actually, like the people who police the post office and stuff, they can actually put that, give that jurisdiction, or however you want to word it, to the local police as well. But I'm not 100% on that. So it's all kind of confusing. There's different types of trespassing too. There's trespassing to real property. There's like trespassing to land or something like that. And like for like forests and things like that, there's a law. And I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry, I guess. If you are asked to leave and you don't, you can be charged with trespassing.
Can you be trespassed in, let's say, not in Chicago, let's say in a city outside of Chicago, in Illinois, could you be trespassed from a public building, a building that is open to the public, let's say a state house? Could you be trespassed from a state house while the state house is open to the public?
I didn't look up a state house specifically, but I would say yes. I'm pretty certain that you can.
Okay. So another thing that you mentioned, and I thought this was, I only had one chance to watch it, so I might have gotten this wrong. But you said that if you are arrested, you have to ID. Is that what you believe to be true?
In a stop and ID state, yeah, or no. Anyway, yes. If you are arrested, legal, if you're lawfully arrested, yes. Otherwise, you can be charged with failure to ID.
Okay, and you said to just go ahead and give him your ID at that point, or?
I would recommend it if you don't want to get that charge. If you don't think that you were lawfully arrested, you can always challenge that.
How would you challenge that? Yeah, I'm a brand new auditor. How would you advise me to challenge that?
And I'm not advising you to challenge it because I want to make that clear that it's a personal choice. But by challenging it by not giving your ID and just remaining silent.
Okay.
So chances are if they give you a ticket, then you'll go to court and have to fight it out that way. And if the law's on your side, hopefully you'll win, I guess.
Okay. And later in the video, you mentioned that it would be a good idea to not take anything with you that could identify you, like credit cards or an ID. Is that also correct?
Yes.
So if you don't take your ID with you, how, in theory, how would you ID yourself?
Just by saying your name and date of birth. You don't have to. There's no law requiring you to carry an ID.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. Did you want me to keep asking you questions, or are you still doing fine?
No, I can ask you a few questions, I suppose, because I'm really curious to know a couple of things. I'm just sort of wondering.
Okay.
Now, I guess my first question is, in general, do you support what us auditors do?
That is a very open-ended question. In general, I do not support auditors trespassing or harassing members of the public, or causing disturbances in businesses or in government buildings. I do support filming the police in general from a traditional public forum or any place where you are legally allowed to be, where the police are interacting with you. I support audits insofar as people act respectful, film from places where they are legally allowed to film, and don't create disturbances or harass people without cause, like where they go out. I don't like the auditors going out and like filming people's license plates because the person was snippy with them. Does that sufficiently answer your question?
Yes, actually. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I turn that one back around to you and ask how you feel about the things that I said? Does that comport with what you believe, or do you think I'm being overly restrictive?
No, actually, if you'd asked me that
you
probably would have said maybe. But I totally agree with you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I fully support it, in fact.
Interesting. All right.
Now, what was that?
I was just ask if you had a follow-up or anything like that, but apparently.
Oh, yeah. Now, do you have examples of things are doing it right that, like, the people especially should sort of look at and, you know, and sort of follow suit? Any good examples in the field, or whatever you want to call it?
Good examples. Well, so I never expect anyone to be perfect. So don't expect me to say that any of these people are perfect, but the ones that I tend to enjoy and have the fewest quibbles with are going to be people like Man in Black, Desert Sentinel. I just found First Amendment tests. Bunny Boots does a good job. There's some things that I have more issues with him on, but I still think by and large he does a good job. You, when you're by yourself, are relatively okay.
Okay.
When you go out with people, you tend to not quite. It's different. But yeah, I don't have any issues particularly with you. If I haven't made a video on you, I probably don't have a terrible issue with you. And my dog is biting my hand right now.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask, what are some of the any people that are like, you know, that are hurting this cause, that are like bad examples? But I mean, if you want to say, that's fine. But otherwise, I guess I kind of wanted to avoid this being like some kind of a, you know, something that, you know, like a back and forth or something that like separates people, because what I see, what I'm hoping is not, you know, going to be the case. I know there's a lot of issues with like Felipe Hemming coming in and a lot of divide and a lot of fighting and bickering and stuff like that. And, you know, he kind of came in as somebody that, you know, supposed to help people and stuff like that. And I actually kind of look at you like that too, because, you know, I like your page and I think you have a lot of good information. You know, you're smart and I think you can help a lot of people, but it just kind of, it's a little off-putting to me because I hate to see any kind of like back and forth thing. And I just wish we could all just sort of have an open mind and are willing to take, you know, any good advice that you have and stuff like that. So I hate to see that. And so I don't really want to do that whole separating and these people are doing it wrong. Right. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. That's one of the main reasons that I wanted to talk to you too, because I just don't want it to go in that direction. I'd rather, okay, let me ask you this. What do you suggest as far as ways that we can all start just kind of working together and make this, you know, what we're doing more purposeful and better for everyone involved?
I don't think there's really a we. I strongly suspect there is no we in this. This community is a group of individuals, and each individual kind of makes their own decision, and yet they still call themselves First Amendment auditors. And at the end of the day, we as a community are stuck with the decisions, both good and bad, of the auditors. But let me ask you, if you see someone doing something wrong and it hurts your cause, how do you think you should deal with that person? Should you ignore them? Should you address it? What should you do?
Oh boy. That's kind of that's like a personal, not a personal question, but I've had to deal with that. I kind of feel like I'm a sort of a snob with it. So, you know, I appreciate everybody who does it for the simple fact that they're doing it. And even the people that I don't agree with, like, you know, one of my favorite people in the world is Chi-Town Sue. I hate the way she audits. It's kind of a harsh way to say it. And I don't like the cussing. I don't like the in your face stuff. And it's almost to the point of being kind of cringy. And she knows how I feel about it. So I guess as a rule, I try my best. I kind of, for the most part, separate myself from that. I don't do a lot of like the cop watching and going out with her and Denise and stuff at night. And I prefer to do audits alone.
Okay. Good. Let's say that you are in a position where anything that Chi-Town Sue does is going to take away your rights. Let's say that if Chi-Town Sue gets arrested for disturbing the peace in, let's say, a court, just for example,
Okay.
a court where normally you could go in and film, but she goes in there and she creates a scene, and because she created a scene, now the city is going to take away your ability to film in this building. How would you deal with that? How would you deal with her having done that, and then the city responding reasonably to it with the public on their side?
If just hypothetically speaking, if that was the actual situation, well, it just kind of it's kind of a weird scenario because she's doing, making it difficult for, because we are individuals. So I'd probably try to dig into that a little bit, but I fully take responsibility for anything that I do. So whether that's associating myself with somebody that's doing something that gets us in trouble or anything like that. So like, for instance, like when me and Sue were at the post office, I've never been a fan of going in them. In fact, that's probably the only audit I have going into one. And, but at the same time, and we got arrested, I would never point a finger at her because it was her idea. You know what I'm saying? So I have every capability and opportunity to say no to things that I don't agree with. And I've done it plenty of times. And yeah, that's it. I guess if usually I would just avoid the situation if I can, but if I didn't, then I would just take responsibility for my part in it.
Well, let's bring it to a real world example.
Okay. I knew that was coming.
you may remember Leon Valley, where Padilla was able to walk through that police station for 20 some odd minutes, and he had the receptionist gal apologize to him because he was allowed to film in there under their policy, and she was mistaken in telling him that he couldn't. She had to apologize to him. And then a week later, now no one can film in there. If someone is wearing your clothes, your uniform, your banner, and doing that to your cause, do you just let them do it? Do you call them out? How do you prevent that person from damaging everything you're working to protect?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it depends on have a talk with them, but I don't know. It's late. I don't know.
That's the position I'm in, and I'm sorry to have to walk you through so far to get you into the position where you can maybe understand where I'm going. I'm not coming in here necessarily to bring division. My whole goal is to push towards more First Amendment freedoms and less attention being paid by police officers to people who are only filming. But when you have people who are going into DMVs and post offices and places like that, who are causing problems, who are pissing the public off, causing cities to increase the restrictions, causing courts to increase the restrictions, causing police stations to increase the restrictions on what is going on in regards to filming because of this other negative behavior that's associated with it, then I think the only thing that can be done is to call them out. And that is by its nature divisive. I'm saying you are doing wrong, and then people can either agree with me, agree with them, or agree with neither party. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
So
and I think a lot of that kind of happens, but I also think, because if you may or may not notice, but a lot of people who I think that, and a lot of people that you've actually mentioned that are people who you think are doing it right, a lot of people kind of stepped back and they, are sort of separating themselves from these guys and newer auditors and just auditing. And
I think there is a lot of that, but now with that said, do you believe that causing division is right or is wrong, or there is a better way to do it?
I guess it could be right in some situations. Like, I disassociate myself with people and activists who I think are who I don't. Okay, I don't want to say. I'll say that I don't like. I do, and I don't associate with activists that I don't like. You can't make people do things the way that you want to or think it should be done, because a lot of people have their own ideas of what should be done. And I think a lot of people have different in this too. And that's why one of the first things I asked or told people that I do is I ask myself why I'm doing this. And that's what I think a lot of people should do too, is ask themselves why they do it. And then maybe that would, they should factor that in when they make their decisions for the types of audits that they want to do.
Do you think the people who are doing the disruptive audits do you think they are reflective kind of people who are going to sit there and figure out what kind of audits that they want to do? Or do you think they're the kind of people who are going to go out there and start shit and have fun?
I'm hoping for the first part that I think are there just because they're like, fuck the police, and they're not giving a lot of thought into it. And I think a lot of our good mentors and stuff like that, and a lot of people who motivated me are just not doing it anymore, which is kind of sad, which I think is what sort of prompted me to make that video. Because I'm hoping that people are in this for similar reasons that I am. They're looking at the bigger picture, and they're not just trying to, do a bunch of theatrics. It is, the whole movement in general, I guess, if you want to call it that, it's really sad to me because there's so much of, I don't see any auditing anymore. Like I go through my timeline and people are, they're talking about, they're gossiping, they're live streaming all this frivolous stuff. And then there's people out there who are like making money off of other people's videos and stuff. And then there's not very many true, like actual audits anymore. And it's kind of sad to me.
So what makes an audit a true actual audit?
Just like the basics, is a really good example. Being yourself, being a person, an individual with a camera, not standing out, just doing normal stuff that any normal person would do. That's, obviously, lawful and legal. And then just seeing the police officers' natural reactions.
So how long do you normally stay at an audit? If I remember correctly, you said about 20 to 45 minutes?
Yeah, I usually range around there. You usually get a feel of how things are going to be within, 20, 25 minutes. A lot of times, like, I'll wait. And once somebody knows that I'm there, I'll usually wait maybe like 10 minutes after.
Okay. But you don't go around and do anything to make people notice you. You just film. Correct. A question I have for you.
Yes.
Is now that you are making money off this is your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel pressure to bring the drama, to keep people entertained, to keep the AdSense rolling in?
Well, now this is kind of new to me. I've only been doing this. So I haven't really needed to have that pressure applied just yet. So I don't really know. But I do understand the idea about wanting to have good content out there. And good meaning as far as, viewers and things like that. So
Mr. Nathaniel dropped a truth bomb on me that he knows of several auditors who have called the police on themselves. Have you ever, or do you know of auditors personally, specifically, like that you've been out with, who have called the police?
No, absolutely not. I would never condone that. I wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you condone it?
Well, for one, it's against the law. I mean, making a fault like that. I mean, That's one thing. Another thing is,
wait, hold on. You say it's against the law to call the police on yourself.
Well, if you're lying
which law, whose law, and where can I find it?
Let me look. You know what? I guess it is hearsay, but
This is what I'm trying to fight. People who say just a blanket statement like it's against the law. Is it against the law for the municipality? Is it against the law for the state? Is it against the law for federal? Is it the same in every state? Is it the same in every municipality? If you can't point to what law it is, I strongly recommend you not saying it's against the law.
Yeah, I've never looked it up, so I don't know.
That's okay. So, let's leave aside the legality of it. Let's just assume arguendo that it is legal to call the police on yourself and to say there is a person filming and I find it suspicious. Not calling the 911 number, just the general. I
still think it's wrong because you shouldn't influence the outcome of that. That defeats the purpose, in my opinion.
It defeats the purpose because, well, you say you wait for about 10 minutes after you're noticed. If you're never noticed, how long do you wait?
I get a feel for it. Maybe half, just depends.
Okay. So you would stay longer if you believe you were getting noticed?
I would wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
Are they going to approach you?
Okay. If I'm getting to the point where I have to pee, so if anybody wants to jump in here, or maybe Camera Magic, you want to take some questions? I need like 5 minutes to empty some things.
Do your thing.
I can sort of pop in and be the intermittent voice, the chat, while a bio break's being taken. Hey, Pink Camera Magic. It's me, Boney Boots.
I know your voice.
Oh, good. You can actually understand it through this crappy laptop mic because I forgot to grab some of my some components of my equipment when I came out to Portland.
So what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just in recovery after following rioters around. Well, protesters and rioters around the city of Portland for a couple of hours there, a good 5-6 hours.
God, that had to have been crazy. There's a lot going on there, huh?
There's quite a bit. I didn't get into good spots where the action did happen, where some conflicts. I just didn't have the luck this time. And the police did a pretty good job of keeping both groups away from each other. For the most part. There were a few break-offs that got mingled, and fisticuffs were thrown, mace was used.
Sounds like a party.
Oh yeah, definitely was a party for sure on that aspect. And of course, Antifa got chased off by the cops for a short while there because they refused to get off of street that was closed, and it was just like one block area that was being disturbed. And of course, the fun part was watching the Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys go, yeah, do it, get them. And I'm just like, that could easily just be you guys too. And shortly after that happened, they continued to make further announcements, which I was thinking was directed towards the Patriot Prayer guys, in which case they sort of mingled off and continued down their route. Hey, Christine.
Good times.
Yeah. But does anybody have questions in the chat or in the Blood Sports channel there for Pink Camera Magic, and I can go ahead and field them. And of course, I'll take a minute for the people to it'll filter out onto the larger platforms. Okay, Desert Sentinel, go ahead and ask it. Oh, Lady Saga asked, "Are you aware, Pink Camera Magic, that that Merb does audits himself?"
I thought I saw a couple, but I wasn't quite sure that that's what he was doing. But I've never seen an interaction. I guess I've seen him walk around a little bit and do a live thing, but that was it.
Oh, so is interaction the key to a good audit?
Well, I mean, it's kind of boring just watching people walk around. So, I mean, it's not a, like, I mean, passing is a good audit because that's the overall objective, right?
The overall objective is to get contact, or the overall objective is to be
to not have contact.
To not have
You want to be able to just do your thing and be, don't look suspicious, just do your thing and not be contacted. People don't bug you for filming. I mean, I would think that's the objective.
You were thinking that my audits weren't audits because I didn't get the contact, or that
no,
they were good
I
audits
didn't say that at all.
Okay.
No, it's what I'm saying is I didn't realize that you were auditing. You're walking around, just watching people walk around is pretty boring. It's not entertaining to watch, but it's a good audit because that's what you want, right?
So that leads me right back into it. If you're getting paid to have people watch your videos, and all you're doing, let's say you are successful and you get the Chicago Police Department to no longer respond at all to anything you do unless you start running around naked, then what do you do?
Then what do you do? I don't know. You don't run around naked. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, there's not a shortage of content available in Chicago. There's a lot of work to be done here. Like when I lived in Minnesota, doing it for 3 years, I probably had 3 fails, and I did these a couple times a week. So there was not much content in Minnesota. Chicago, it's almost exactly the opposite. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Okay, so are you familiar with the distinctions between forums?
What do you mean specifically?
Forums. Are you familiar with, let's say, are you familiar with the term non-public forum or traditional public forum?
I guess so.
Okay. Do you think you could, in just a quick sentence, obviously I'm not going to test you on it, I'm just curious, do you think you could tell me the difference between a traditional public forum and the sidewalk leading from the parking lot of a post office to the post office itself? Do you think you could tell me the difference between those two?
Well, one of them, I guess, I mean, I'm guessing would just be like a traditional public forum. If you're referring to space, would be the sidewalk. That's that the public sidewalk. But then the other one is just public access. It's not a traditional public forum, I guess. And if that's what you're.
No, you did excellent. I think you've actually been paying attention, and that shocks and impresses me. So I appreciate it.
I'm full of surprises, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now all we have to do is get you to figure out where to find your trespassing laws, and you'll be batting 1,000.
Well, I don't. After the trial is over, I can talk a lot more specifically about my case and the trespassing laws and stuff like that. But the one thing that I can talk about is taking pictures inside and being inside the building and stuff like that. When I originally did the audit, I wasn't 100% clear about all that. Now my trial has nothing to do with actually taking pictures, but I did learn a lot more about poster 7 and stuff like that.
Oh, poster 7. Can you film it at a post office? Can what house grounds, the that border the street, in from those can gut just your gut. I know
because I'm judges, I guess their jurisdiction for ruling and stuff would be in the actual courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. Itself. making rules for the outside of the courtroom, I think that still has to kind of go through the process.
What process?
I'm not, somebody's like the way that they make laws and rules, whoever, depending on which place. I believe for like county courthouses and stuff like that, there's a board that governs like rules and ordinances and stuff pertaining to that space. That it would be in their control, sign on it.
No.
But I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me. But I do know that, like I said, in Cook County, they for not taking pictures on.
There's something weird about the Illinois Constitution. If you're just looking at federal law, v. Grace, and the grounds thing that is walk on it, it's a non-public forum. In the I would bet you that will constitutional by the control it. And why do you think the judges would be able to control it?